Close your eyes, get comfortable, and enjoy tonight's sleep story. Tonight, we travel to a quiet mountain valley. Far away from busy cities. Far away from crowded roads. Far away from ringing phones, flashing screens, and hurried schedules. This valley rests peacefully between gentle mountains covered with pine trees. The mountains are not famous. They do not appear on postcards very often. They are simply old mountains. Patient mountains. Quiet mountains. Mountains that have spent thousands of years watching the seasons come and go. Near the center of the valley sits a wooden lodge. The lodge is large but simple. It was built many years ago from sturdy timber. Its walls are warm brown. Its roof is dark gray. Its windows glow softly during the evening. A narrow path winds toward the front door. And beside the lodge stands a small wooden sign. The sign reads, Mountain View Lodge. The caretaker of the lodge is a man named Henry. Henry has worked there for many years. He enjoys the quiet life. He enjoys routines. He enjoys simple tasks completed carefully. Most of all, he enjoys the peaceful rhythm of each day. This morning begins exactly as many mornings have before. Before sunrise, the valley is still asleep. The stars remain visible overhead. The air is cool and fresh. Everything is silent. Inside the lodge, Henry sleeps peacefully beneath a thick blanket. The room is comfortable. A small clock rests beside the bed. Its hands move steadily. Dig, dig, dig. The clock makes no attempt to hurry. Time passes slowly. Eventually, the first hint of dawn appears beyond the mountains. A pale silver glow spreads across the horizon. The sky begins to lighten. Birds start singing softly among the trees. One bird sings, then another, then another. Gradually, the valley wakes. Henry opens his eyes. Not suddenly, not quickly, slowly. He stretches, takes a comfortable breath, and listens. The lodge is quiet. The valley is quiet. The morning is quiet. Everything feels calm. He sits up, places his feet on the wooden floor, and stands. The floorboards creak softly beneath him. A familiar sound. A comforting sound. One he has heard thousands of times before. Henry opens the curtains. Morning light enters the room. Outside, mist hangs above the valley floor. Thin ribbons of white drift between the trees. The mountains rise beyond them. Still, patient, silent. For several moments, Henry simply stands by the window. Looking, watching. There is no rush. There never is. The mountains are not going anywhere. The trees are not going anywhere. The lodge is not going anywhere. Everything can wait. Eventually, he leaves his room and walks downstairs. The staircase creaks gently. Each step produces a familiar sound. The lodge seems to greet him as he moves through it. Downstairs, the kitchen is cool and quiet. Henry fills a kettle with water, places it on the stove, and waits. The kettle warms slowly, very slowly. The lodge remains peaceful. Outside, sunlight begins touching the highest mountain peaks. Golden light spreads across the landscape. The tops of the pine trees glow softly. The mist continues drifting through the valley. Everything moves at nature's pace. A slow pace. A comfortable pace. Soon the kettle begins to hum. A gentle sound. Nothing loud. Nothing urgent. Just a reminder that warm water is ready. Henry prepares a simple cup of tea, then carries it to the front porch. The porch overlooks the valley. It is his favorite place in the morning. He sits in a wooden rocking chair. The chair moves gently. Forward, back, forward, back. The motion is relaxing. The tea is warm. The air is fresh. And the view stretches for miles. Henry watches the sunrise. The sunlight gradually reaches lower slopes. Then the valley floor. Then the lodge itself. The world slowly becomes brighter. Birds move among the trees. A squirrel runs along a fence. A breeze stirs the pine branches. Nothing remarkable happens. Nothing exciting. Only another peaceful morning. Exactly the kind of morning Henry likes. After finishing his tea, he begins his daily inspection of the lodge. Every day follows a similar pattern. The routine rarely changes. And that is part of what makes it pleasant. He starts at the front entrance, checks the door, checks the windows, checks the porch railing. Everything appears exactly as it should. Then he walks around the building. The gravel crunches softly beneath his boots. Crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. The sound is steady, predictable, comforting. The morning sun continues climbing higher. Shadows slowly shorten. The valley becomes brighter. Henry reaches the back of the lodge. There a small garden grows beside the building. Nothing fancy, just simple flowers, a few herbs, some bushes, and a narrow stone path. He kneels beside the garden, examining each plant carefully. A few flowers have opened since yesterday. Tiny drops of dew remain on their petals. They sparkle in the sunlight. Henry smiles. Small things often bring the greatest sense of peace. A flower blooming, a bird singing, a breeze moving through the trees. Simple moments, quiet moments, the kind of moments that fill ordinary days. And ordinary days are often the best days. By mid-morning, Henry begins preparing the lodge for future visitors. No guests are arriving today. Perhaps not tomorrow either. But the rooms must remain ready. The beds are checked. The blankets are folded neatly. The windows are cleaned. The furniture is dusted. Henry works slowly, carefully, methodically. Each task receives his full attention. Dusting a shelf, straightening a chair, adjusting a curtain, closing a drawer. Simple actions, repeated many times, creating a peaceful rhythm. Room after room, hallway after hallway. Everything grows a little tidier, a little brighter. a little more welcoming. The lodge seems happy to be cared for. The old wood shines softly in the sunlight. The floors remain polished. The windows remain clear. Outside, the mountains continue standing quietly beneath the blue sky. Hours pass. The morning gradually becomes afternoon. Sunlight fills every corner of the valley. The air becomes warmer. The birds become quieter. The entire landscape settles into a peaceful midday calm. Henry pauses near a window overlooking the forest. A narrow trail disappears among the trees. He often walks that trail during the afternoon. Not for exercise, not for adventure, simply because he enjoys walking. And today will be no different. Soon he puts on his hat, steps outside, and begins following the trail into the forest. The path winds gently between tall pine trees. Sunlight filters through the branches. Patterns of light and shadow cover the ground. The forest smells fresh. Pine needles, earth, wood, clean mountain air. Henry walks slowly. There is no destination, no schedule, no goal. Just walking. One step, then another, then another. The forest welcomes him with silence. A peaceful silence. A living silence. The kind of silence filled with distant birds, rustling leaves, and gentle breezes. The kind of silence that helps thoughts become slower, and calmer, and softer. As he continues deeper into the trees, the sounds of the lodge disappear behind him. Only the forest remains. Only the mountains. Only the rhythm of footsteps along the trail. And as the afternoon continues, the peaceful journey through the quiet mountain valley goes on. End of Part 1, Crescent Moon. Part 2 would continue the same slow-paced story toward a full 30-40 minute narration.